welcome back. I'm Nicole with ChiroMox. Today I'm going to dive into some great video content for you. How to make your email newsletter stand out. This last week on the blog we've been talking about the importance of having a newsletter, where to find content for your email newsletter, the different pieces that you should definitely always have in your email newsletter. And now, to build upon that, we're going to talk about, now that you have a newsletter, how do you keep people engaged with it? How do you keep people reading your email? And you do that by making your email newsletter stand out. And I have 6 different ways to do that, and you're going to want to combine them all together to make one fantastic email that you send out to your audience week after week. Ready to get started? The first one here, and the most important, be consistent. One way to prove to your audience that you are all in, that you want to keep sending them content, and that you care about them hearing from you over and over again, is to be consistent. Once you start sending a newsletter, continue to do it. Even when it gets really busy at the office, even when you can't think of anything to write, make sure you're still sending something out at that same frequency that you've always been doing. If you need help with this, that's where ChiroMox and our services come in. It's because we understand that it's hard for you as a chiropractor to always get out that content, and that's what we can take care of for you. Point number 2 is to be brief. So when you send out your newsletter, you only have a certain amount of time in which you have their attention. So make your newsletter powerful by using brevity. So packing a lot of power into every word that you use, and making sure that you have their attention throughout everything that you're talking about. Number 3 goes right along into this last point with number 2, is that your content, while being brief, should also be interesting and informative. You might think that's a given. Obviously, you're sending them interesting and informative information, but really what I mean is that you should not be only talking about your practice or what's going on in your practice. Try to educate them as to the chiropractic industry as a whole. This is your opportunity to inform your audience, and they don't want to just hear about you. They want to expand their knowledge base. And you can also be interesting, humorous. You could be provocative. You could take a bunch of different methods for doing that, but as long as you're not only hitting them over the head with your own content, then you're on the right track. Number 4, as you can kind of see, I've labeled this half as more of content and this half relating more to design. Number 4 here is talking about using powerful imagery. Imagery on its own is very powerful, but especially when it's in a newsletter, because that's the first thing that they will see when they open your newsletter. Make sure you pick your imagery with intention so that they want to keep scrolling and keep reading your newsletter. And then lastly, under design, is choose a simple design. You don't need to be over the top. Really what you need to do is get out a clear message with specific call to actions, what you want them to do next after reading your newsletter, and give them this interesting and informative information. You don't need to distract them with an overly complicated design. So when in doubt, simpler is better than complicated when it comes to your design. Keep that in mind. We're on the blog, we're going to be talking about different design elements too, so you can check back there for more information. That's at chiromox.com. Lastly, and this one also relates to content, but I don't want you to forget about this, even though it's my last point here. And that is point number 6, smash that headline. The headline is the first thing that your readers will see. And it's the number 1 reason why people will open a newsletter or not open a newsletter. Make sure your headline speaks to what your content is about, but is also engaging enough that people want to open and read your newsletter and not just click delete right away. These are 6 ways that you can make your email newsletter stand out. I'm sure I could come up with a couple more ways if you ask me. So if you're interested, get in touch with us at chiromox.com and we'll be waiting for you there. We'll see you next time with a new video next week. We'll actually have another one for you next week. See you then. Bye.